morning, everyone. Thanks for being here on this beautiful South Florida sunny day and a slice of absolute paradise that we have. I'm Stacy Hetherington. I am your District 2 Martin County Commissioner. District 2 is right where you are standing this morning on this beautiful park. So we are grateful that you could join us. And let me just first start by recognizing a couple people that we have here. First and foremost, this would certainly not be occurring without Knight and Ann Kiplinger that joins us this morning. Knight has been a steadfast supporter of Martin County. You're going to hear a little bit from him later, but I always say whenever I talk about Martin County as a fourth generation native that the people in Martin County is what makes it so special and so unique. And I certainly put Knight and his vision for Martin County and his continuous community involvement in that category. That Knight and Ann, you're part of the people that makes Martin County so special. And we appreciate not just celebrating with you here today, we appreciate everything that you do in Martin County and your vision. So with this particular project, we were able to improve the parking and add about 14 spots. And if you, like me, I know South River, residents come in here all the time, and Bob Yago, I would say, is our neighborhood picker-upper in the park. And he was here yesterday just to make sure we had a very clean trail. So I myself will come and park here and do the phenomenon of the bridge walking. So the 14 spots was a significant improvement for this area, not only for this park, but some of the surrounding areas. We removed the invasive species and did some replanting techniques that I'm sure John will tell you all about, how we were able to take this back to its natural beauty. We added this beautiful chickee pavilion that you're sitting under, which without that and the South Florida sun, would be a hot morning here. And now I know that residents will bring their lunch, they'll enjoy. So the chickee was just finished in the very, very last month or so. So we're working on, we have some permitting in process for a canoe and kayak launch in the waterway. And once that's completed, we will be able to launch kayaks right from this park. So, as I mentioned, not for Knight and Ann Kiplinger, this would not be possible. And we are so grateful for your generous donation of this land and your family foundation. And certainly we recognize the state for the grants that we've received, which have supported the efforts that we have to preserve it. Again, I can't say enough. It's the people that work in this community that makes it so special and makes properties like this and restoring them and preserving them for public access for all of us to enjoy.
This particular spot is one of about 30 that our system manages, that we've had the pleasure and the privilege to be a part of removing exotics from and providing low impact recreational access to. Each of these spots have some significance, whether it be some of them are really chiefly to protect a unique ecosystem. Some of them are for a water quality benefit for the St. Lucie River or the Loxahatchee, and some of them are really geared towards the public access for low impact recreation like hiking and paddling. This particular site is special because it does all three very critically in a very small and a very uniquely poised location. It's a spot that gets a lot of traffic, it gets a lot of attention, and it's very, very cared for. I could talk about the nomenclature of the endangered species out here, and I'd probably bore most of you. I might bore myself. What I think is most significant is whenever I'm out here, I run into somebody who's just deeply passionate about this particular spot. They've been using it for years, if not decades, particularly the folks from the neighborhood to the south. and they'll get emotional talking about what a role that this has played in their lives and their families' lives, and it wouldn't be possible without people like the Kiplingers that had the vision and forethought to provide this to the public.
I'm so happy to be able to be here today. I was talking with Mr. Kiplinger earlier, and I remember him talking about his family and his commitment to Martin County and the things that they've done to Martin County. And it's people like the Kiplinger family that makes the difference here in Martin County. And growing up here in Florida all my life and seeing this natural habitat, knowing as a kid we hiked in woods like this and did some crazy things that we probably never should have done. So hopefully that won't happen here, but you never know. So I'd also like to talk a little bit about this site. Began back in 1994 when we acquired 164 acres, which is the property here to the south. And we purchased that from the Kiplinger family and foundation. And it was also through not only a donation but a purchase, and we got state grant dollars. And so our partners, again, at the federal and at the state level, those partners are so important for us, because without their monetary support and their support with Martin County, we would not be able to have these kinds of amenities available to our residents.
1959, our family acquired 700 acres, more than a square mile, starting way up Canner Highway, and the city line was 1.5 miles north of us then, and running down to today's Pomeroy Street, with 4 miles of riverfront in the St. Lucie River, 700 plus acres. But over time, our family sold pieces of this land, starting further south down Canner. White Marsh Reserve, the next door neighbor to the preserve, with little pathways right from the neighborhood into this preserve. South River, and today's Banyan Bay, which is still under construction down to Pomeroy Street. That was the southern terminus of this 700 acres. But right here around Indian Street, we knew something special would happen, and something special was needed. Not just the purchase of a right-of-way for the new bridge at the end of Indian Street, but we began talking to the county, and for the life of me, I can't find in our files who really initiated the conversation. I know that Maggie Herchala, the late great Maggie Herchala, was very involved, because she's all through the clips, negotiating the donation of 40-some acres from our family, negotiating the state funding, the Lands for You funding to acquire about 116 acres put together, the purchase, the donation to create this. But as a member of our Board of County Commissioners back then, Maggie was very involved in the creation of this in the early 1990s. But we really have to tip our hat to the gopher tortoise. There are lots of gopher tortoise on this site, and they were there in the 80s and the 90s and probably since time immemorial. And it was actually their presence on this site that convinced the county and the Kiplinger family that this would be an ideal place for a preserve.